Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn, renowned for her tenacity and achievements on the slopes, has recently found herself contending not only with a serious injury but also with a barrage of online skepticism and criticism. Following a tear in her ACL during a race at the end of January, Vonn took to social media to directly address and refute doubters who questioned the legitimacy or severity of her condition. Her responses were sharp and confident, demonstrating her resilience in the face of adversity both physical and digital. In one notable exchange on X, Vonn sarcastically replied, "Oh, thanks doc," to a sports medicine doctor who speculated about the state of her injury. She clarified that her ACL had been fully functional until the incident on the previous Friday, asserting that just because something seems impossible to others doesn't negate its reality. Vonn emphasized that her ACL was completely ruptured, 100%, not partially as some might assume. Despite this major setback occurring on January 30th, she remained determined to compete for a gold medal in the Olympics on February 8 at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time, showcasing her unyielding spirit. The initial post from Brian Sutterer, a Missouri-based sports medicine expert, suggested that Vonn's ability to continue might indicate a pre-existing condition where her knee was already adapted to functioning without a fully intact ACL. He explained that stories of athletes playing on torn ACLs often involve chronic cases where the body adapts over time, potentially easing recovery. Sutterer also noted that prior tears or surgeries could reduce swelling and pain in repeat injuries, implying this wasn't a standard fresh tear. In response to Vonn's clapback, Sutterer sought clarification on any previous ACL issues in that knee, praising her accomplishment as insanely impressive, while expressing curiosity as a professional about the nuances of ACL recovery timelines. He aimed to provide accurate information to the public without diminishing her efforts and wished her luck. Support came from IndyCar driver Alexander Rossi, who commented on the thread, pointing out that critics were merely searching for excuses to explain Vonn's defiance of expectations. Vonn agreed succinctly with facts, appreciating the solidarity from a fellow athlete. Vonn also engaged with an opinion piece from USA Today by Greg Graber, which argued that she was risking long-term health by competing with the injury and suggested she was past her prime. Vonn critiqued the article as an odd opinion piece, questioning its premises like the idea that pain and suffering define her pursuit or that she's searching for meaning. She called out the ageism in implying risks at my age, noting it's becoming tiresome. Vonn affirmed her identity beyond skiing. She's a woman who loves the sport, retired for 6 years with a fulfilling life, not needing it but choosing it out of passion. Having come so far for one last Olympics, she vowed to give her best regardless of the ACL status, urging others not to assume without knowing the full story. The injury itself was dramatic. Vonn had to be airlifted from the course after the crash but swiftly returned to gym training, her commitment unwavering. On February 3rd, she shared that while her pre-crash odds had shifted, a chance remained, and she wouldn't abandon hope or effort. Grateful for support, she drew strength from it, reinforcing her message of perseverance. Vonn's career, spanning decades, includes 3 Olympic medals and numerous World Cup victories, making her a legend in alpine skiing. Her ability to push through injuries isn't new. She's overcome multiple setbacks, including previous knee issues, which might fuel speculation. However, her direct responses highlight a frustration with uninformed opinions in the social media age, where experts and lay people alike weigh in publicly. This episode illustrates broader themes in sports: the pressure on athletes to perform despite injuries, the role of medical speculation, and the impact of ageism, especially on female athletes. Vonn, at a stage where many retire, defies norms by returning post-retirement, driven by love for skiing rather than necessity. Her clapbacks empower others facing doubt, emphasizing self-knowledge and determination.